Raising businesses and babies at the same time, especially during a pandemic, requires tremendous courage, resiliency, tenacity, juggling capability, and a whole lot of commitment. Our guest is the founder of 3 businesses and mother to 5 children. What? And she's sharing all her hard-earned tips for mompreneurs. It's Fab Female Founder Friday, and hello, it's Women's Entrepreneurship Day on the Startup Life live show. Let's glow, everybody, and let's dance. Let's do that now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Startup Life live show. I'm your host, Ande Lyons, 4 times founder and startup champion, 2 founders around the world. And after raising 4 businesses of my own, I now share founder startup stories to help newly minted business owners find the solutions and inspiration they need to succeed. And I'm so grateful you carved out time in your life, especially you mompreneurs who are juggling so much, to tune in and up your founder game while cheering on a fellow founder, and in today's case, a fellow mompreneur founder. If you're joining us live or via replay, be sure to say hello in the comment section so I can come by and give you a virtual hug and hello. And if you are joining us on YouTube, please subscribe and click the bell icon if you haven't done so already. And from wherever you're watching live, we're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Click the like button if you would. That would just really help us reach so many more folks out there. And we appreciate your help and support in maximizing the joy and minimizing the heartache of founders' journeys everywhere we glow. If you need to know, yes, you do need to know, whenever I post a new show on the Startup Life live show, please join the Startup Life Live meetup group. All right, you can scan that QR code, go to the bit.ly link, Startup Life Live, and I will absolutely have the links in the show notes for you. Also, if you're resonating with the show's mission of amplifying diverse founder voices and you want to help increase the support going out to our diverse founders and make a greater impact on the startup ecosystem around the world, please join me in sponsoring the Startup Life live show. You can reach out to me, Ande at andelyons.com. Also, I think I've got a little thing here for you. Yeah, if you prefer listening, please follow the Startup Life Live podcast on iHeartRadio or Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts, because sometimes it is easier to listen to the show and grab all the gems that you need for your business than watching. You know, whether you're doing laundry or in line to pick the kids up or you're out and you're working out, it's a great time to up your founder game and hear how other founders are figuring it out along the way on their founder journey. All right, so I'm excited to introduce you to our guest. I'm going to bring up a wonderful image of her company, the Bow Hub, while I read you all about Jeanette's amazing background. With a bachelor's degree in biologic science and a prepharmacy education put on pause, Jeanette needed flexibility in her life while raising her babies. And like many women with children, she chose entrepreneurship to meet the needs of motherhood and the role of primary income generator for the family. Jeanette turned to her passion for serving women and children and built 3 businesses: Oohs and Coos, a nonprofit for women and children; the Bow Hub, a children's hair accessory business that you're looking at right now; and Jeanne Ette Millinery, a hat-making company for women. Plus, she's also found time to co-author 2 children's books. Oh my gosh, we're going to learn so much from Jeanette. As if I just said, welcome to the show, Jeanette.
Hello.
Where are you hailing from today, Jeanette?
I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Oh, great. So you're starting to experience a beautiful fall. I'm sure the leaves are starting to come down. Tell me something, because, you know, we're heading into the U.S.'s Thanksgiving week, right? And I know that you're just doing so many wonderful things as you prepare for the big giving and gifting season with your wonderful business. What are you feeling especially grateful for today?
I'm just grateful for life, especially
Yay.
COVID. A lot of people we've lost a lot of people, and I'm just grateful to be alive among the living, just to be able to help each other. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Oh, I feel that so strongly right there with you. And that's a beautiful gratitude to share on Women's Entrepreneurship Day. And everybody, it is also Buy from a Black Woman Day. So get out there and spend your money on Black owned businesses that are owned by women. Okay. There's a wonderful website you can go to, buyfromablackwoman.org, and they will tell you all the things that you can do. They have a great lineup of folks there as well. But we're going to get into all the wonderful things that this phenomenal Black owned business owner has. I just love pulling these up again and again because they are so adorable. Like, why weren't they there when I was ready? Even though I had short hair, my mother always kept my hair short, and look at me today. I would still have been rocking one of these. The colors are beautiful. Everything about them are so beautiful. But you have an entrepreneurship journey to share. As I said earlier, when I was introducing the show and talking about Jeanette's businesses and her background, sometimes life puts us in a position where we cannot meet the rigid limitations and structure of corporate America, of traditional businesses, where we have to be somewhere at a certain time and we have to stay there the whole time, right? So many women leave and they end up becoming entrepreneurs. So they have the flexibility to honor their role as a mother as well as a businesswoman. So there you were, raising babies. You had your biological science degree. You were looking forward to studying a degree in pharmacy. What called you to launch your first business and become an entrepreneur, Jeanette?
Yes, so my first business was a nonprofit for women and children, and that's Oohs and Coos. And that started because my sister, my twin sister, who is called Jean, she was pregnant at that time, and she went to the hospital for a checkup, and everything was great. The nurse took her blood pressure and didn't take notice of it. It was 160 over 100. So she came home and went back the next day because she wasn't feeling well, and she got there and her blood pressure was 180 over 120. She was crying. She was dying, and she didn't know anything about it. So they admitted her, put her on magnesium sulfate to slow her system down. That's when they told her that she had preeclampsia, which is a very serious pregnancy complication that
Mm-hmm.
actually kill you.
Yes.
So after everything was over, I was like, you know what? We have a medical background in pharmacy. Why don't we just launch a website to talk about pregnancy complications and women's health in general, to educate the general public on what can happen when you get pregnant, because you can actually die from this. So that's how it all started. And then we pivoted to, after we got a 501c status, to actually apply for grants and financially help other women and parents and caregivers to take care of their children by giving out supply, baby gears, and then diapers, especially diapers and wipes.
Wow. So initially you were there to help the woman who was pregnant and getting ready to give birth. And we know that our women of color moms have some other more challenges, and they are not addressed. I mean, I'm seeing it more and more come to the surface. And so you're providing that is so important. And folks, you have got to follow Oohs and Coos on Facebook. Oh my gosh. The photos that you shared there are just seriously precious, those babies.
Thank you.
No, there's nothing like launching a nonprofit to sort of help you dip your toes into entrepreneurship. Because the thing about nonprofit is that you own it, but you don't. I mean, there's just, a lot of different regulations that you have to do, a lot more reporting that you have to do, a lot of more admin that you have to do. So what were some of the takeaways from launching a nonprofit?
So with launching a nonprofit, what you have to do is before you can become a philanthropist, that's when you have a nonprofit, you have to be selfless. Because here I am giving out diapers and I have children in diapers and I can't take any of them out. I can take just one diaper for myself because I have put myself out there to help the general public. So you have to be somebody who is very selfless and be determined. Have it in your heart. It is something that you acquire. You have to have it in you that you want to help somebody.
That's
Or
right.
you can do it. Yes. So you have to have it in your heart that you want to help somebody. And that's the only way you can do it, because you're giving stuff out to people that your children don't even have.
Right.
But you have to do it because you know there's somebody out there who needs it more.
Also, I would say too that you have a high level of integrity. Okay. That is a phenomenal trait, because
Thank
for you to say, like, wow, I could use a diaper here, but I'm not going to take it from this mission I'm on to help people who are really desperately in need of the diapers. And oh my gosh. And was it regional was it local? Who did you serve with Oohs and Coos?
So with Oohs and Coos, we serve Virginia, and then most of our people are online on Facebook. So it's around the United States, all across
Nice.
the United States. And actually, we also have people in Ghana, where I'm originally from, that we help. So it's
That's
all over the place. Yes, it's all over the place. But we have shelters in Virginia that we also help, which is
right.
locally. We are locally, yes, based
That's
here.
wonderful. And that alone is a huge responsibility. But there you were going, well, but I think the girls need to be dolled up a little more. And I'm all for accessorizing anything. And so there you are, bringing in these beautiful bows and headbands so that we can all look delicious. The little goddesses in training, right, everybody? How did
Yes.
that idea come to life? Because it's a lot to be a mom for 5 kids and then to have a nonprofit, which takes a big heart and big dedication. And now you're going to go into something that requires inventory and shipping and all parts and pieces and management. How did this idea come to you?
So, by the way, I have 4 girls, so we buy a lot of books, and we get books, and within 2 days they just fall apart. And I decided to learn the trade, to learn how to make it, because it was too expensive. I have 4 girls; they want different colors. Everybody want different something. So I learned the trade, and then I was initially doing it for just my girls.
Right.
And then they became like my salespeople, because they would go to school and people will ask about the bowls. Where did you get this? Where did you get that? And that's when friends decided to place their orders. And initially, I didn't want to do it because then my husband and I were separated, and I have 5 kids all to myself. I don't even know how I'm sleeping at night, and how am I going to do the orders when they sleep, because I need time for myself, my nonprofit, and I was working a full-time job. So then I decided,
Can we just stop for a second? I have to go take a nap just hearing this story. Jeanette. Oh, you were a woman on fire and a woman on purpose. You found energy from a greater source, I imagine. Yes.
yes, yes,
And so this was this was a side hustle as well, because you became the primary caregiver, right, for and breadwinner for your children. Yes.
yes, I did. So it was just a side hustle. But later on, I said, you know what? It's bringing me enough money that if I made this a full-time job, I'll be able to get enough time to take care of my children. So so I made my full-time job then a part-time job, and I just started doing this full-time. And that's how I was able to maintain. Thankfully, I have my co-founder, who is my sister, who helped me a lot. So that's how we're able to do this full time. It wasn't easy at first. I'll be honest with you, it was really hard because I have 5 children who needs my full attention. I want them not to have any effect of that separation. So I'm trying to give them my all, and I'm here running another business and have another part-time job somewhere that I'm doing.
Right.
But gradually, as I got used to it, it became easier for me to do it. And that's how it started off. Yes.
I want moms everywhere to hear that this is what happens. All of a sudden, as the systems, the newness of the business, you start putting together the systems and procedures. Same thing in the home. Everybody takes on a role and learns how to contribute, I imagine, right? But
Yes.
mompreneurs really understand that you can do this once, you get enough grease into the system so it starts to run itself, and you know what your systems are. You know that between this hour and this hour, you're going to focus on whether it's in inventory management or whatever. I just want to say a quick hello to a local goddess here, Anna Foster, Anna Maven. So happy to see you here. And yes, we have the jams, and Anna has had to figure it all out too, running businesses and raising babies. And Mia, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Mia is the host of the popular podcast, Shit We Don't Talk About. So she's familiar with diving deep into topics that you want to know more about, you should be talking more about, but you don't. So be sure to check her out. And she wears many other tiaras, including a hard hat as a commercial building inspector. And then Asia's sharing all of her beautiful flowers for you. Folks, connect with Asia K. She's our community manager, and she helps us stay connected with all of you everywhere we glow. I just wanted to put that out there. So what were your children thinking as they're watching mommy go from the job and starting to see you going, oh my gosh, and now dad is no longer at home every day. It's a lot of transitioning. And then their friends are ordering their beautiful headbands that we want some of that. Wait, get your mom to get us some of that. What did you notice among your children as they began to adjust?
So the good thing is my kids like bows. So doing this, initially we're doing it together. So I will call them, we'll sit down and then we'll do it together. So it was like a little project for us to just take their mind off of what was going on. They became like little bow makers. I got like little accessories for them to sit on the side and help out, just to get them busy and take their mind off of it. And then when your friends started ordering bows from them at school, can my mom call your mom? They felt like little celebrities because they were like the talk of the school. So it's like a misfortune turned into a blessing, because now these girls are going through this at home. But then at school, everybody is talking about their bows. At church, everybody is talking about their bows, and they know their mom is making the bow, and that is so fascinating for them because they never saw that,
Right.
mom bows, and they have different types, different colors. So they were about that, and that is what actually kept us going. We just used little things in life to keep us going.
So I think that's so important too, because then conversation can happen when nobody's looking at each other in the eye. And anybody has teenagers know, if you want to get the scoop out of your teenager, you get in the car with them, right? So nobody's looking at each other and they start to share. You're sitting there and you've got a craft objective with everybody, and everybody knows what they're doing with the bows, the beloved bows, but you're giving a chance for everybody to come together and share the moment, share the uncertainty, share the pain and the sorrow and the grief, while creating something beautiful that folks want and they're raving for. I love that, Jeanette. I'm just going to pop them right back up again because I can't get enough of them. I'm looking at them, Jeanette, I'm thinking about everybody sitting down and making them and pulling them together. And so now they've got your beautiful vibe as part. Oh, look at the holiday ones. They're so beautiful. That's tremendous. And we have someone tuning in all the way from Turkey today. She's a mom of 5, Jeanette, as well. Oh. Her babies some have already gone off to school, but she is in Turkey right now because it's harvest season. And she has an award-winning olive oil, extra virgin olive oil company that all the olives come from women-owned farms in Turkey. So she's with her youngest daughter right now in Turkey with all the women making the olive oil, harvesting, doing all of that. And I bet you could, Laura, share a lot about that. That's Zaze, everyone, and those of you listening, it's Zaazey, olive. And she's hailing hello from the Grove itself. So thank you, Laura. Well, and I think that as your children are sitting there going, okay, mommy has figured out a way for us to stay together, to make money, to provide joy, because there's nothing better than putting in a beautiful bow in your hair. And I bet they learned a lot from that, Jeanette.
Yes.
Do they talk to you about it? Did they share some of the comments like, mommy, thank you, or mommy, this is helping people?
Yes, so at school, so what they did was, especially my oldest daughter, she would go to school and they should get with our monograms, she'd get everybody's first name. And then she will come home and give me the orders for free. I mean, she's doing this for free. And then I will have to make the bows and she'll give me a timeline. So she was like, all her friends wanted bows, but they wanted it for free. So she'll get the names, bring them to us, and then she'll give us a timeline. I need it in a week time, then I'll give it back to her. So she was like a mediator of free bows. And that was so exciting for her because her friends adored her because she was giving out free bows.
But she also learned a lot too, about the customer experience.
Yes.
And it gave you customer experience feedback, because now you can, because they were free, you can feel very good about asking the little girls, what did you like about that bow? What would you like different? How do you feel about the first initial monogram? So when did you start do you still make the bows yourself today, or are you outsourcing that?
So I make them today because I have a way of making them to make sure that they don't fall apart easily. Yeah. That's the main reason why we started doing it. So we have people who do the back, which is the alligator clips, but the main crafting, the main folding and everything is done by us, because we want to make sure that we have the same quality that we started with. As it gets bigger, like people, they just they delegate the jobs. But we are doing the main thing because we don't want to lose the quality that we started with, because that's what brought us a lot of customers anyway.
That's right. But you're going to get faced, a little mentoring moment here. You're going to get faced with production. How can you start really growing? Do you think you'll set up your own shop, like, get someplace where all the fabric comes in and you'll get more and more people and you'll be able to afford to do that? Or will you outsource it to a place? What are your thoughts on that?
So we had a kiosk in a premium mall in Virginia.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that we sold our bows, and we get all our stuff from Hair Bow Center, which is a wholesale store. And we closed our store because of COVID. When COVID hit, because it was very expensive. It's in a premium mall. And thankfully, you know what God can do? Thankfully, every mall closed except ours. So thank God we closed it as soon as COVID hit, because I have people over there who were paying rent for nothing because nobody was going to the mall, but they had to pay rent. So we are blessed that we exited as soon as COVID hit. Yep. Now we have boutiques who also carry our products, and we have other people in our country who carry our products. So we have it all. We keep expanding, and that's what is great. We keep expanding.
And that's exciting. So, and this is also a great learning moment for all of us, especially anybody with inventory, with product. You're going to, everybody is it's either in the boutiques or people can order online, correct?
Yes.
And so the process is you are sharing the bows on Instagram, word of mouth, social media, and then the orders come in.
Yes, we're doing Instagram. I do a lot of advertisements on Instagram, on Facebook. Facebook is a good place on Facebook. And even we have a little thing on Twitter, and not Twitter, TikTok. Where I go on and then I do a little dance just to get people excited.
I love TikTok. We're actually addicted to TikTok in our household, not for the dancing, but for everything else. But here's what's exciting is that, and I keep coming back to this, and I know listeners and viewers, you're going to keep hearing me come back to this, but this is a problem that Jeanette is going to need to solve. And I can't wait to have her back in a year and she can tell us where she's at, whether it's, either having more people come into her inventory and manufacturing area and pay them to help her create the bows, or because you are going to get a volume order.
Yes.
And it's going to be like, we want 10,000 units. And you're going to be like, yeah. Is that an order you can meet today?
Yes. So when we had a store, we did that. We have people who help us that we pay them. We pay them to help us, but we are on their necks. I mean, we have to be there to make sure that everything is right. And it's more stressful than doing it on my own because I have to go to from one person to the other to make sure
Yeah.
because when it's yours, it's different than somebody doing it. So I have to move on from one person to the other. And it wasn't a lot of people, maybe 5 people. But when we get orders, when we go, we are trying to go retail where we get it
Yeah.
to Target and other stores. So when we
Yes.
do that, we have to hire more people to help.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And see, and this is what I'm also getting at is the fact that Jeanette and the Bow Hub are not only feeding the family, they're feeding the community. And
Mhm.
that is so, how does that feel for you?
It feels good because I know, I'm from Africa. I know what it feels like to have nothing. So one of my main purpose was when I got this company was, what, I'm going to hire the underprivileged. So I hire people who nobody will hire just to help them out. People who are struggling, especially, I have a thing for single moms, especially for single moms. So I try to help them out with the little income that they can make from us so that they can take care of their family.
It's wonderful. And I just want to say thank you so much, Jeanette. Not to mention the joy of the product line. I've just, folks, I'm just going to keep bringing them up because they're so adorable. Here's the Christmas version, the holiday season version. I want to know from anybody listening, can adults wear these yet? I just want to put one into my head. Of course, everybody knows how much I love accessories. And then we've got all the different colors for all year long, which is just wonderful. And so these are just so beautiful. So not only is your business taking care of you and your family in such a beautiful and significant way because you needed something to be the catalyst to pull you all together during a difficult time where grieving was involved,
Yeah.
yet everybody's tapping into some of their own skill set. Your daughter's out there hustling the bows. Yeah, I can get you 50 bows. I can get you a blue bow. I can get you a so she's learning some skill sets herself, but they all are. They're learning how to manage adversity, how to be resilient, and how to take an idea and generate income from it. And
Yes.
I have to tell you, as a single mom, for you're teaching your children this. This is an invaluable lesson that will be imprinted on them forever, and they will know how to solve problems going forward and be tremendous self advocates when they are in turn faced with adversity. So anybody who's going through something similar like Jeanette, please know, yeah, ideally we'd love to protect our children, but at the same time, these experiences that they have that are certainly where they're not being physically harmed or mentally, emotionally abused, these are really important, preparing them for those first few years of adulting, as we
Yeah.
like to say. That's beautiful. And so I'm excited to hear that you've got the whole process. So when Target calls, the big box stores call, you're ready to meet the orders. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Hmm.
And thank you, Laura, for following the Bow Hub and sharing it. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. And Aisha saying, I love your attitude, Jeanette.
Thank
And
you.
Laura continues to say she loves how you are finding a way to stay home with your kids and making it happen. Quality is so important in that you are teaching your kids amazing values. Now,
Thank you.
you left a pretty strong professional career behind in biological science, and you were going into pharmaceutical education as
Mm.
well. How has this transition been for you going from the more professional, traditional way of earning money to entrepreneurship?
So it was hard at first because when you start your business, the money doesn't come in. It takes a long time for the money to come in. So it was like earning regular income to having income here and there, and that was okay for me because I knew it would happen. So I was well prepared for that, and I was willing to make the adjustments because my children needed me. So that is good, but so the pharmacy degree is just on hold. I'm actually planning to go back to school next year, even with my 5 kids, and finish So, because I want to
Oh,
teach them that whatever you start, you have to be able to finish it. I don't want to
wow.
be halfway, and then they'll think, oh, it's okay to go to college and then stop halfway and then, just do something. I want them to know that when you start it, you have to try and finish it. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I love that. Really, it's such a beautiful, again, as Laura said, that's incredible, important values that you're giving your children. And then along the way, you found time to co-author two children's books.
Yes.
Talk about that. And why was that important to you?
So with my nonprofit, everything was every money we got out of it was from us, my sister and I, our businesses and all that. We wanted to distribute coloring books to children's hospitals. We didn't know how to do that, so we tried. My sister and I are we are blessed with the gift of ideas, so we decided to author a coloring book so that we can give it out to children in hospitals, especially cancer patients, so that cancer children, so that they can have something to do while they stay at the hospital. So that's how we authored our children's coloring book, and so far we've distributed it to about, I think, 25 children hospitals in the United States.
Oh,
And then
that is,
we had another bedtime story that we are doing, which is still in the works. It's actually in publishing stage as page publishing. So that's not out yet. But the children's coloring book, the main purpose of it was to get it out to children in hospitals so that
sure.
they will have something to do while they are in the hospital.
Well,
You know, I
I
love
just,
always thinking about them.
of course, and I was a child in a hospital for a week when I was 6 years old, so I know how scary it can be, and it's so important. But Jeanette, you had a stitch that on a pillow moment. I got to tell you, it was when you said, "We are blessed with the gift of ideas." What? I'm telling you, that has to go on a pillow on your couch, because how is that for a positive affirmation for founders? Oh, we're just blessed with the gift of ideas. That is so key to remind yourself, founders, that you have solutions to problems. Thank you, Jeanette. And Laura, you brought up a really good point. Are you WeBank certified for the Bow Hub yet?
So we are in the process of doing all that. We're doing a lot of certifications. Actually, recently we're trying to get into a target acceleration program. And that's when I got to know that we have a lot of certifications that we have to do. So we are in the process of doing all that.
Well, WeBank is the gold standard. That's where the Fortune 500 go. They look
Yeah.
for that, and they have the really good supplier diversity programs. And Laura's right. This can open many doors. It certainly is how I grew my food business in a very short period of time, under 2 years, scaled it nationally, was through supplier diversity programs with the large corporate companies. But did you say Target has an accelerator program?
Yes, they do have an accelerator program for founders where you can do, yes. They actually closed the last cohort, the application is due on the 14th, but they have another one in January that you can actually join. They have some for founders, and they have the forward founders, and they have another one which is for beauty care. So for the forward founders is for founders who are trying to go retail,
Right. Oh,
retail,
folks,
but
yeah. There,
yes.
I think there's an accelerator program for really every category out there. You just have to find them.
And they
And
actually give you a stipend to $5,000. So that's good. So whoever
yeah,
is listening, if you want to join, that's good. Just look it out. Target Accelerator Program.
oh, thank you for that. Asia has a really good question, and I'm very curious myself, because we had a year ago Whitney A. White. Folks, follow her everywhere. She does the best time. Take back your time and make sure you're scheduling. She's a single mom with one child who lives around the world. COVID happened, and so she said, "Well, I'm going to be homeschooling anyway. May as well go down to the Caribbean. May as well go over to Hawaii. May as well go over to Paris, France." It's been a fun time, but this is so important, having a routine, because staying consistent requires systems and procedures and routines. So Aja's question says, "I'm impressed by your ideas and consistency. What is your daily routine?"
So I have organization is key. I have a framework that I follow. Although I know I'm a mom and I will have to sometimes make adjustments. Mornings are for schools, getting ready for schools. During the day, I do it with I it's mainly business because the kids are in school. My sister is there. She can help with daycare. My son, who is just 3 years old. So during the day when the kids are in school, that's when I get most of my work done. And then I have a thing of telling my clients that after 5, I don't pick up calls, I don't do anything because my kids will be home and they need me. So after
Absolutely.
5 is homework, family time, dinner time, bedtime. And once everybody is back to bed, I have a me time, just a little me time where I sit, take a cup of coffee, just reflect on the day. And then I do a little bit of work, a bit of work, like maybe my day, put inventory, check my inventory and everything before I go to sleep. So that's my schedule. I have a
I
very big schedule.
Of course, I would be the type of mom that bedtime would be like 7 p.m. So, so I could go ahead and have my me time. Oh, I'm so selfish. But that's okay, everybody. That's amazing. And I think having that routine and having really important boundaries, because what you're doing is you're telling your children, you are very important to me.
Yes.
And this period of time is very important. So they all feel all the yumminess from you. And
Yes.
then while they're taken care of through school or daycare, you can tell your business, you're very important to me, and take care of that. And then after everybody's in bed and you have your reflection period of time where you can, commune with whatever higher power you choose to do so with, and have your time to, for your own solace and thoughts. So you're telling yourself you're very important.
Yes, and I always tell my fellow founders that we work from a point of purpose, not a point of desperation. My children are my priority, so even if I lose clients because I have to make time for them, so be it, because they are my purpose, they are my why. I have this business to take care of them, so I have to make sure that they are still my priorities. That's why I do all that I do. Yes.
Yes. And, mothers out there, mompreneurs out there, I know you're juggling a lot. And some of you have partners that are helping you, which is wonderful. If they're not helping you, find someone to help them learn how to help you. So they can show up fully to help you. But for the single moms out there working the business, it is 100%. The children are your why. They are the pillars of everything that you're doing. You have plenty of time to run many businesses after, the 20 years of raising your children, but you only have this one shot at raising your children. So as much as the demands of the business, or if you have investors who are telling you that you need to be a certain way, no, you set the boundaries for your business. And if that means it's going to be a turtle on roller skates with your business, that is okay. Or you get better at delegating and you give what you can and let others nurture your business along so that you can keep your kids as the pillar. Does that sound right for you too, Jeanette?
Yes. Yes.
And so you have one other business, which of course I'm very excited about. And I don't know if you have any time for it, but it's your millinery, your hats. Come on. How did that happen? I mean, you were looking at your girls with all the bows, and all the moms were like, okay, we've got the bows, but what about our hats? What
And now
happened?
my girls actually wear hats today, had hats day at Ripon Middle School, and my children were actually showcased because their mom is a millionaire. So they had these beautiful hats on, and everybody was excited. So I am from Africa, and hats, we behave like the British. Whenever we have weddings, we have special occasions, we put on hats. So then I learned, actually, that is what I learned during COVID. So we have a very prominent person in Ghana Velma, who has a millinery business. So I contacted her and she said, you know what, I can teach you online through Zoom if you are ready to do it. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. And I said, you know what, I can do it because I have a bow business. I have my skill. I know I can do stuff with my hand. So she contacted me and she was very flexible. She knew I had my son there. She was flexible and she said, Jeanette, you're doing great. So I learned everything about it. And before you knew it, I was making hats and selling hats.
Oh, Jeanette, come on. I mean, most of us would be just like drinking coffee, hanging out in our PJs, and you're like, I'm feeling really called to do hats as well. Let me reach out to the top millinery in Ghana who is well known for creating fine art in hats, and let me see
Yes.
if she'll teach me. I got to tell you, it's a perfect example of the answer is always no unless you ask, right? Not only was
Yes.
she willing to teach you, but she was flexible. She honored your motherhood, while she was teaching you. Oh,
Mhm.
it just doesn't
And
get better than that story.
my daughter, my oldest daughter, she goes to the trash even wearing a hat because we have lots at home. So sometimes like, Mommy, can I wear this? She puts it on, just go. I'm like, okay, that's fine. She's going to the trash, but she's wearing a hat.
Well, you know what? She can always pull out the pricing card, right? And go, oh, you'd like one here? You can order one here. And this is how
Oh,
much they are. Move product, kids, move product. All right. Hustle, hustle. Oh, I love that so much. All right. So, you have learned some really hard lessons. As you
yeah.
first with your very passion driven and purpose driven Oohs and Coos, you were frightened by your sister almost dying during her
Yes.
pregnancy, and you knew other people were suffering. So you first did that business and you started to really hone your skills, and you've got your 5 children, and then your marriage
Mhm.
happened. These are the vicissitudes of life, everybody. Life happens. And so now you are managing that process, and it's a grieving process, and it takes time, and there are a lot of souls involved when a marriage ends. And you launch a second business, the Bow Hub. um, you had to have learned some pretty tough lessons during all that, and then COVID hit. And I know one of the things I really took away from you was that you said that my failures were, or maybe it was last week's post, you said my failures are the stepping stones to success. Was that you?
Yes. Hmm.
Talk a
So
little bit, Jeanette, about how you got through those hard times and the skills that taught you the most. Because when you do things wrong, you learn the best, right?
yes. So first thing, you don't have to put your emotions in everything, like in your business, nothing. When everything started, my marriage, COVID, and everything, I used to sit down, pity myself, throw pity parties. And my sister is no help because she comes and I'm crying. And instead of helping, she also cries, She's like, instead of making you better, she also cries. And then I just had a wake up call. I was like, I have 5 children who are dependent on me. I have to get up and do something. Take my emotions out, sit up. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade out of it. So I got up and I said, you know what? I'm going to change my mindset, take all the negativity out and get a positive mindset and just move on. So that's how I started. I took every emotion out. I was just there and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it. There's always failure on the way to success. And I've had my fair share of failures. Now I'm on the road to success and nothing will stop me. Nothing, not even a failed marriage. So that's what I did. And I went straight on. I did my thing. It wasn't easy. I'll be very honest with you. It was really hard, but I was determined to do it because of my children. Because I didn't want them to be a victim of failed marriage. You know what failed marriage can do to children. I wanted them to feel nothing, just move on, have the best life that they can have. And that is what will make me happy. So I just moved on for the sake of my children and for the sake of me. Because after all, I'm human. I have to move on too. So, yes.
Oh
So I
my
just,
gosh, we just need to bottle that up, that piece right there, and everybody needs to listen to that, beginning with the fact that your sister was no help because she'd cry with you. I just love that something fierce. Empathy, you could go, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" as well, and wring your hands, but you speak with such purpose and such conviction, Jeanette, right
mhm,
then and there. Just, I have children who are counting on me. I have to pull my act together. I have
mhm,
to figure this out. And there's going to be a lot of bumps in this road, but I don't care. I'm going to get to the other side because I will not be a victim. And I
mhm.
will certainly not let my children feel like they were victimized either. So I think we all need to listen to you once a week. Anytime we're feeling a little of the pity party, the boohoos, because of all the challenges we are facing. And yes, folks, hashtag the struggle is very real. But
Yeah.
Jeanette, I have to tell you, I got goosebumps. Your voice was so, yeah. And Asia's like, might your next business be motivational speaking? It is so true. It is so true. And how you are viewing the world and your mindset. And the mistakes that you made. What did some of the business mistakes look like? And what were some of the ramifications?
So I wanted to do everything all by myself. You do it all. You're proud that everybody's saying, "Oh, Jeanette, I'm doing it all." No, if you want to do it all, you're going to fall. That's the truth. You will fall. You have to learn to know that it's human. It's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you a victim. It makes you human, because that's what humans do. We rely on each other. So
Well, and
one thing I learned was, you know what? I will ask for help when I need help, because I need help. I have 5 children. I'm doing it all by myself. So sometimes I will need people to help me with pickup. Sometimes I will need people to help take care of them while I go on a meeting, on a short call or a meeting. So that's the first thing that I learned, that I have to ask for help. And then I have to
wow.
find for myself. Because
Yeah,
if I break down, then who is going to take care of them? I need to be healthy for them, because they need me around for a long time, because they've got just me. So I
that's
really,
right.
yes.
You hear Jeanette talk about all of these things that she's doing, but it's because she knows how to delegate. And women, we keep getting the memos. Oh, I do it all.
Mhm.
No, do not do it all. Stop that. It's toxic. And it goes beyond the hustle, and it is messaging many women get. Yeah, sometimes
Mhm.
they do look at their male partners, husbands, and say, they're not going to do it as well as I do. Who cares? Let
Okay.
them do
Mhm.
it. As I always said, just keep them alive. That's what's important. So you can just delegate, really hear what Jeanette said. What else, Jeanette, did you learn along the way?
So having a business, it makes you it makes you a little bit vulnerable, because the customer is always right. So you have to have patience, a lot of patience, because you know what, you people will buy stuff from you and they'll bring it back and say you didn't do it right. You know you did it right, but you have to know how to control yourself and know that the customer is always right. They said you didn't do well. If you bring my stuff back, I give you another product for free, because I'm wrong. Okay, I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. I didn't make the right hat for you. I didn't make the right bow for you. That's fine. I even give you a free gift to pass it as a way to make you feel better. So you have to know how to control yourself, control your emotions, and then just relax and let everything flow and have faith. I'm a Christian woman, and I have a lot of faith. My faith has really kept me. That's what has kept me all this time. Just have faith. Do your work, have faith, and God will just bless everything that you do.
Oh, I love that. And this is why you're so uniquely qualified to be doing what you're doing, to be a mom to 5 children and to have this business that you clearly feel so much passion about with the Bow Hub. I'm going to bring this right up here. And you're going to get 10% off all Christmas accessories with the code ANDE21, everybody. So go to the Bow Hub, THEBOW HUB. Did I say that? THEBOWHUB.com. Put in the code Ande21 and get your precious treasures a bow. I might just get one for myself just because I'm an adult. And then, by the way, are your hats on a website anywhere as well?
My sister is actually still building the website. She does our IT stuff, so she's building the
Thank you,
website.
Jean. Thank you, sister.
An amazing human. I don't know what I'll do without her. It's good. It's not always advantageous to have a twin, because we fight a lot, but we love each other. My mom always says never come between them, because they'll fight and the next minute they are best friends, and then you are left out somewhere, you know.
I love that. I love that. So, and what now? I mean, now we were talking about, okay, we're getting ready for some big box orders and, holidays are coming up. What hard thing are you working on right now that the Startup Life Live community could add wind to your sails, or, put out to the world that, hey, Jeanette needs help in this area. How can we do that?
So right now we're rebranding the Bow Hub. I'm talking to my friend who is a cosmetic chemist. We're trying to add children's hair care products to the Bow Hub. So that's what we're doing right now. It's very difficult
Excellent.
to go back and forth with her. She's actually in Ghana right now. So I'm trying to find a way to get funds, to get, I don't know, because everything has been bootstrapped. But this time I'm really going to venture capital to get the money to,
Right. Do you know how
yes.
much you need?
Maybe so we did the estimate, the initial, it's like $6,000.
Oh yeah, that's a check. Someone could write a check for that and be an angel investor, So yeah, you don't need no venture capital. An angel investor could come in, even
Mhm.
for 10 or 25,000, and who knows? Usually, maybe you could try Arlen Hamilton's group, Backstage Capital, or you
Okay.
could even do crowdfunding as a way to raise, equity crowdfunding to raise funds, that sort of thing. But it isn't much. It is a check out of someone's pocketbook. If you're talking 6, 10,000, maybe 20, just to get the inventory built up. That is a very doable investment for someone. We will just all put it out there. We have to be careful how we talk about that, folks, because the SEC doesn't like us talking terms and conditions. That's, unless you've got a licensed, broker behind you. But we know, that's a check that can be written by a group who would, I think, love to give you a lift. You have totally shown and proven that you know how to get traction and that you know your customer, and you've got 5 kids who are out there hustling for you. But you also know how to be a leader within your organization. And that's why I'm just so proud of you and so impressed with everything you've done, Jeanette, and
Thank
Sister Jean, with the business to make it work, and the advice you've given for moms today, from the routine to, practicing patience to, delegating everything, I know is helping mompreneurs that are out there right now. And probably the ones who are looking at saying, well, gee, I only have 2. That's all I had. And when I was raising businesses and babies, you have set up the right schedule, and you have made your children the pillars of your life and worked everything around them. And you can do it, moms out there. So you're honoring your role as mom, honoring your children, and honoring your need to be a professional, a woman who needs to be fully expressed. And you can do it. Just keep following Jeanette everywhere she glows. You can see right here along the ticker tape how you can go to the bowhub.com. You can follow her, the Bow Hub, on Instagram and TikTok. I want to see those dances myself. I'm going to be running over there and checking that out. As you sit here, and you've also gave us great mindset, how you snapped yourself out of it. You're like, all right, I need to get serious. I need to take that negativity. And now that I've really felt it, I need to put it on the shelf and deal with it another day. And I'm going to stay positive and strong and not be a victim and show my children, a role model for my children. But you've been an entrepreneur now for what, 4 years, 5 years?
So the Oohs and Coos started in 2015.
Okay. So 6 years. Yeah. So what have you noticed that's really changed about yourself from this journey? Because, entrepreneurship, folks, is the best personal development program out there.
So I've not recently, what I've done, which I should have done earlier, is connect with people, entrepreneurs. So I was lucky to be a part of the NASDAQ Entrepreneur Center Milestone Circle, where I connected with women entrepreneurs. And they helped bring the confidence out of you. They make you confident because they help push you. And then I've connected with a lot of mentors from Mentor Makers, also part of the NASDAQ Entrepreneur Center platform. And people I had no idea that I could even talk to. You get to meet them, you talk to them, they give you ideas on what to do, who to connect you. They connect you with people that you would have never connected with. So I think what entrepreneurs need to do is connect with other entrepreneurs and then get mentors. Mentors are the key to getting you where you think you can go on your own, because they are they are well connected. So you just mention it, and if they know that person, they will just connect you to the person. So every entrepreneur needs to get a mentor. And that is the key to getting to places that you think you can get to on your own.
I love that advice. That is absolutely 100% what I would call not only an Andelicious moment, because hashtag mentorship matters, but also it's a wonderful founder journey moment. Because you're sharing such an important aspect of our journey. This going alone just does not work, folks. You need mentors. You need people in your life to help you. And speaking about great people in one's life and a fellow female founder, it's Ruby Sunshine Taylor. Hi, Ruby.
I love Ruby. She's great.
Oh, she is a precious treasure of all precious treasures. Everybody, you've got to follow Ruby. Go connect with her. And like Jeanette, I mean, she had hardship in her life. Okay. And she's raising two children. She had a traumatic brain injury that she had to come back from. And also be patient with herself. You talk about practicing patience and with others as she learned a new way of being and bringing her brilliance to the world. And she helps you with your financial well-being, creating legacy, making sure your money is working for you. As she said, likes to say, you had me when you said compounding interest. I mean, that's what really turned her life into her passion. Thank you, Ruby. We love seeing you. And Aisha K saying, hi, Ruby. Anyway, I want folks to understand too, we had a tough start to the show today. We had internet connectivity challenges, and this did not hold Jeanette back. Did you see how we worked? We tried to work the problem with her, with the screen, a PC or a desktop. Nope, switched to the phone. We still had a great show. We got great information. And this is what founders do. And I'm so proud of you, Jeanette, for just forging ahead. It just, again, shows your willingness to get this information out no matter what, and your flexibility to come on board. I'm so happy you joined me today.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Oh, such a delicious conversation. You have so much to celebrate right now as you head into the holiday season. I'm so excited. I'm going to pop up your artwork one more time. We have the Christmas, the holiday version, and you've used the code ANDE21. You're going to get 10% off those gorgeous holiday bows. Oh my gosh. And you can get all the other colors that you need to go with your outfits, because we know girls have a lot of great colors that they must have matching bows for. And you can trust Jeanette to give you high quality and products. So I'm excited to see what unfolds next for you, Jeanette, and can't wait to have you back on the show so you can tell us all your updates.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to be celebrating you today for so many reasons, but I know you've got a special event coming up. Is that part of the program you were with? Did you say NASDAQ?
NASDAQ Milestone Circle program, yes.
Can you just share just a little bit about that? What is that?
So it's a program for women entrepreneurs where we connect and lift each other up. We connect, we help each other, we meet mentors. Everybody talks about their problem. You get a milestone that you have to reach at the end of 12 weeks. And that's what we do. I did my milestone in marketing, and it helped me really a lot because I connected with a lot of marketers who helped me in my e-commerce business and actually increased my sales.
And so you'll be celebrated for that today, yes?
Today on the NASDAQ Tower. And Ruby will be there. Ruby will be there. She was part of it. Yes.
Yay. Oh, well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to pop you into the green room while I wrap up the show. I was so honored to have you on the show today. Thank you for bringing your mompreneur wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'll see you soon. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I tell you, we need to bottle up what Jeanette was saying. And especially for those really tough days, right? When things are just going to hell in a handbasket and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. And, you still need to sort of feel that, of course, but then you can have to put it on the shelf and show up for you and your business. Let me tell you who's joining us on the next Startup Life Live show. We have this amazing man. It's Prantik Mazumdar, and he is from Singapore. And I got to tell you, things are really lively and happening in Singapore. And he's going to be, it'll be, I think, 1 a.m. for him. And he's bringing his seasoned serial entrepreneur stories. He's an investor as well. So he's going to be sharing all his investor advice. And he's a startup mentor. But most importantly, he's going to share how he sold his business, Happy Marketer, to the largest Japanese advertising conglomerate. Oh my gosh, we're going to learn so much. And it's going to be fun to dive into what's up in Singapore, because they have less than 6 million people and they have 10 unicorns in that country. So we're going to learn a lot, as well as up our game as founders. And how do you get an alert whenever I post a new show? You join the meetup group. Right here, you can scan that code or tap the link in the show notes it's a bit.ly/Startup Life Live. And that way you'll get an alert whenever I go live and whenever I post a new show. So I'm so grateful you all tuned in and you hung in there with us on a little bit of our internet challenges. And I just want to say, please, please, please remember, as Jeanette was sharing with us as well, that you are braver than you believe, and you are stronger than you seem, and you are wicked smarter than you think. A little Boston accent there. I'm so grateful that you tuned in, and I'm so grateful you carved out time to up your founder game, and that you continue to find the courage to bring your gifts to the world through your businesses. So I'm wishing you a delicious day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Mwah, everyone.